Hello and welcome everyone. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a book review, and the book for the day is Spirit of the Wood by Kristen Bottain. So this is part of the Green Rider series, and when I requested this book from Daw, I honestly got it confused with a different series. So when it came in, I was like, wait a second, I've never read the Green Rider. But thankfully, this book has been promoted as being a book that is good for someone who is brand new to the series or returning to the series. As someone who is new to the series, I can definitely say that this is a great introductory. It's very short, it's really easy to get through, and it's very addictive. Now, I did spend about 5 or 6 days reading it. I just took my time. It's just what I felt like doing. It just, I wanted to read it slowly so I could really absorb what I was reading. Now, you can read this in a day. It is possible. But I preferred taking it a little bit slower, especially considering the book does deal with some heavier themes. It deals with depression and self-worth, self-reflection, and things like that. And I do think it was handled really, really well, and I did appreciate it being part of the story. And I liked how it was explored from both characters' point of views, because both characters that you follow, Tavin and Laren Mapstone, they are both going through a different type of depression or a different type of self-worth and like self-reflection and how they view themselves within the world, but they're almost kind of similar. Like, it's a piece of both of their stories that connects them and makes their stories intertwine with one another, because the back of this does tell you, oh, this is a story about Laren Mapstone and her past and whatnot, but it's actually more of Tavin's story. The thing with how the story is told is something happens to Mapstone and everything kind of focuses around Tavin and Tavin coming into their power and learning how to use their power to either help people who need help or how it can be used to hurt people. And I have to say, the way that Tavin's gift can be used to hurt people is terrifying, because Tavin's gift deals with empathic wavelengths, basically. And when you actually get to the part of the story where he does use it as a weapon, you're just kind of like, oh my god, that's terrifying. But then you can also see how he can use it for good and use it to heal and help people. And what I really appreciated was how him learning how to control it also helped him be able to find an inner peace with himself, because he really did not like this gift that he had, because apparently, like I said, I'm not familiar with this world. From what I've gathered is it's not very often that people are born with a type of gift, a type of magic, and it's pretty rare, and his is especially rare. And so when he was called to the Green Riders, he got this special little brooch that enhanced his abilities, which was really kind of cool. I find the magic system to be really fascinating. You don't go into a ton of details about it in this book, but there's just enough to grab your interest and make you go, I want to learn more. I really want to learn more. And I really appreciated that, because by the time I finished this book, I was like, I want to read the whole series now. Not only because of that little bit with the magic and how it worked, I want to know more information about this war that happened. I want to know what this bond is that these Green Riders have with their horses, because I am here for that. Okay, it is apparently a very special bond that these riders have with their horses, and I'm just like, bring it, because at heart I'm a horse girl. Okay, at heart I really am. And and I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh my god, horses in fantasy is so played out. Give them to me. I don't even care. I don't care. They're riding a horse. I'm gonna love the horse. Simple as that. So, we got a little bits and pieces of that in this one. And I was like, I want to know more about this bond. Hold on a second. But when it came down to the actual characters and such, I am actually blown away with how well the Britain was like able to create such depth for these characters in such a short amount of time, especially considering one of the last books I read that was under 300 pages. The characters really lacked any kind of depth and personality to them. This book is 200 pages, and there was just so much to them, so much characterization, so much life, and you were just like, I love these guys. Like, I cried at the end of this because I love Tavin, and the epilogue devastated me. I was like, excuse, what? Why would you do that? I was crying. I was like, I love this character. I've had this character for one book, and I'm like, you were my everything. And the epilogue happened, and I was like, you know, so it's like, I really appreciate how within such short amount of time I was able to get completely enthralled by these characters and fall in love with them. And I really appreciated the small cast. It really only follows about 4 characters. A couple other people are like mentioned here and there, but it pretty much follows Tavin, but there's 3 other characters that are also present throughout the story. But each of them are just, they're intriguing and interesting in their own way. And I'm just like, I want to know more about you, and I want to know more about you, and I want to know more about you. Like, so I definitely have the itch and the need to continue on with this series. And one of the other things I really appreciated about the epilogue is that it sets up the beginning of the series, because I do have the first book right now from the library, and so I've read the synopsis on the back of it, which is rare for me, if you guys know. And the way the epilogue in this one ends, if I'm connecting the characters correctly, this perfectly set up the first book, like, to give you a bit more background information about something that's going to be happening in the very first book. And if my assumptions are correct, that's amazing, and I love it, because it just instantly like pulls you in and it makes you want to just continue on. So I definitely recommend this for people who've never read The Green Rider and they're kind of hesitant to start, you know, the first book, since, you know, it is, I think it's like 300-400 pages or something, and this only being 200, very quick read. Definitely worth your time, because it's not going to spoil the main storyline, which is absolutely perfect, and I really appreciate that. So worth your time. This edition, while mine is the ARC edition, I know the official editions were printed with art inside of them that are drawn by the author. Like, I love that. So that's also a fun little treat if you happen to pick up the physical edition. You get all of these really awesome pieces of art included, and I love that. You know, I love when illustrations are included. So definitely highly recommend this one, whether you're a fan of the series or if you are a new fan and you're looking for an entry point. I definitely think this is worth picking up. It's definitely caught my attention. I am going to be continuing on with this series. I am absolutely looking forward to continuing with this series. And while I know a lot of people are upset that it really doesn't follow Mapstone, I think it does do a good job intertwining the two storylines together and how both of their stories are tackled. So whether you want to know more about Mapstone or you just want to see how Brittain decides to tie this all in together, I think it's worth checking out regardless. It's going to be enjoyable. And yeah, that's it. That's the review, guys. That is my thoughts, my opinions, everything on it. I think it's a fabulous book, and I'm excited to continue on. So, you know, drop your comments, likes, subscribes, all of that kind of stuff, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.